Self-Teller presents How to Talk Like a Leader. Your voice is your power. The way you speak can open doors, win trust, and inspire people to follow you. Have you ever seen someone speak and the whole room went quiet? Have you wondered why some people sound strong, even if they speak few words? Today, we will learn the secret skills that can make your words powerful. I will show you how to speak with respect, confidence, and clarity so people listen when you talk. Are you ready to find your leader's voice? Step 1. Know that words shape the world. A leader is not just someone with a title. A leader is someone people trust, respect, and follow. And one of the biggest reasons people follow a leader is the way the leader talks. Words can build people up or break them down. Words can start wars, and words can bring peace. Think about it. One speech can change millions of minds. Long ago, there were great leaders who did not have social media or TV. Still, they moved people's hearts just with their voices. Imagine someone standing in a crowd, speaking from the heart. Their words are simple, but full of meaning. People feel them. That is the first lesson. Your words are not just sounds, they are tools. If you want to talk like a leader, you must know the value of each word. Every time you speak, you are making a choice. You can speak to inspire or to harm, to help or to confuse. Leaders choose their words with care. They know that once a word is spoken, it cannot be taken back. Let me tell you a short story. There was a young man who worked in a small shop. He was quiet and shy. One day, the owner asked him to speak to a group of customers about a new product. He was scared. He thought, I am not smart enough. My voice is not strong enough. But he remembered something his grandfather told him. When you speak, speak like your words matter, because they do. He stood up, spoke slowly, and told the customers what the product could do for them. He did not use big words. He spoke from his heart. People listened. That day, he learned that confidence is not about shouting. It is about meaning every word you say. Here are a few simple ways to value your words. Think before you speak. Ask yourself, will my words help or hurt? Speak from truth. Do not say things you do not believe. Be clear. Do not use too many words when a few will do. Listen first. Leaders speak after they understand the situation. Now, I want you to think. When was the last time you said something that helped someone? How did it feel? And when was the last time you said something you wish you could take back? How did that feel? The answers to these questions will tell you why words matter. A leader knows that words are like seeds. When you plant them with care, they grow into trust and respect. But if you throw them carelessly, they can hurt people. Imagine your words as small stones you throw into a lake. The ripples spread far, much farther than you can see. In the same way, your words can affect people you do not even know. Here's a small exercise. Today, try to speak only words that build, not break. If someone makes you angry, pause, breathe. Then choose words that solve the problem, not make it worse. This is hard at first, but every great leader learns this skill. One of the biggest secrets is this. Leaders talk less, but say more. They do not waste time with empty talk. When they speak, it has weight. People listen because they know the leader will not speak without purpose. Now, let's make this practical. If you are in a meeting, a classroom, or even a family discussion and you want people to listen, try this. Sit or stand straight. Your body shows your confidence before your mouth opens. Look at the people you are talking to. Eye contact builds trust. Speak slowly. Fast talk can sound nervous or unsure. Pause at key points. Give people time to think about your words. When you do this, something magical happens. People feel safe listening to you. They feel that you respect them enough to speak clearly. That respect makes them more likely to respect you back. I once met a teacher who told me, I never shout at my students. I just lower my voice and speak slowly. They lean in to hear me. That is another secret. Leaders do not always raise their voices to lead. Sometimes they speak softly, but with so much meaning that people cannot ignore them. Your voice does not have to be the loudest in the room. It just has to be the clearest. It has to carry your heart, your values, and your respect for the people listening. When your words match your actions, people will trust you, and trust is the foundation of leadership. So remember, every time you speak, you are planting something. Choose what you plant. Build people. Inspire them. Show them a better way. That is how you begin to talk like a leader. Step 2. Build confidence in your voice. You can have the smartest ideas in the world, but if you sound unsure when you speak, people may not listen. Leaders talk in a way that makes others believe in them. This is not magic. It is confidence, and confidence is something you can build. Think about this. When you hear someone speak with energy, you feel their belief in what they are saying. Even if you do not fully agree, you feel their strength. On the other hand, when someone speaks in a low, shaky voice, you may start doubting them, even if they are right. This is the power of confidence. Many people think you are either born confident or you are not. That is not true. Confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. You train it by speaking, even when you feel afraid. I remember a woman named Rena who worked in an office. She had great ideas but stayed quiet in meetings. One day, her boss asked why she never spoke. She said, "I'm afraid my ideas are not good enough." The boss replied, "Your ideas can help us, but we will never know unless you share them." Rena decided to try. She started small, just one comment in a meeting, then two. Over time, her voice grew stronger. A year later, she was leading those meetings. That is how it works. You do not wait for confidence to speak. You speak, and confidence grows. Here are some steps to build confidence in your voice. Practice speaking every day. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Read a paragraph out loud from a book or article. Record your voice. Listen to how you sound. Do you speak too fast? Too soft? Do you mumble? Fix it step by step. Breathe deeply before speaking. Confidence starts with calmness. Stand tall. Your posture affects your voice. Use pauses. Do not rush your words. Give them space to land. Confidence also comes from knowing your topic. If you are going to speak, prepare well. When you know your subject, you feel safer speaking about it. For example, if you are giving a short talk on a project, know your main points by heart. You do not have to memorize every word, but be clear on the ideas you want to share. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear of speaking is common. Even leaders feel it. The difference is they act despite the fear. Think of fear as a signal that you are doing something important. Your heart beats faster because your body knows your words matter. That is not a bad thing. There is a simple trick to manage fear before speaking. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself why you are speaking. Picture one friendly face in the audience and talk to them as if you are speaking to a friend. I once heard a famous speaker say, "The stage is not about me. It's about the people listening. I'm here to serve them." This is another key. When you focus on helping others instead of thinking about yourself, your fear becomes smaller. Think about a time when you had to speak in front of people. Maybe at school, at work, or even at a family event. How did you feel? Did your hands shake? Did you look down at the floor? That is normal. The first time is always the hardest. But here is the truth. Nobody is perfect at first. Even the best leaders had moments when they forgot their words or made mistakes. The secret is they kept going. If you want to sound like a leader, you must practice in real situations. Start with safe spaces. Share your opinion in small groups. Ask a question in class. Volunteer to speak in a meeting. These are small steps, but they build big results. There is a story of a man who could not look people in the eye when he spoke. He wanted to lead his team but felt invisible. His coach told him, "For the next week, Greet 3 people every day with a smile and a clear, "Good morning." It sounded too simple, but he did it. By the end of the week, he felt more open. By the end of the month, he was speaking to his whole team without fear. Confidence is not only in the sound of your voice, but in the belief behind it. If you do not believe in yourself, it shows. And here is the important part. Belief comes from action. You cannot wait until you feel ready. Leaders do not wait. They speak, they act, they learn, and they grow. Here's an exercise for you today. Pick one idea you care about. Speak about it for 1 minute without stopping. It can be to a friend, a family member, or even to your phone camera. Do not worry if it is perfect. Just get the words out. Then tomorrow, do it again for 2 minutes. Keep going until you can speak for 5 minutes without fear. This simple habit will change you. And remember this, people often forget your exact words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. If your voice carries honesty, care, and strength, you will leave a mark. That is the power of a leader's voice. Confidence grows in small steps. The more you speak, the more you will believe in yourself. And the more you believe in yourself, the more others will believe in you. That is the path to becoming a leader who inspires with every word. Step 3. Listen like a leader before you speak. Most people think talking like a leader means speaking more. In truth, great leaders often listen more than they speak. Why? Because when you listen, you learn. You understand people's needs, fears, and hopes. And when you finally speak, your words fit the moment perfectly. Think about someone you know who really listens to you. They look at you, nod, and wait until you finish before they reply. How does that feel? You feel respected. You feel heard. This is the secret. Before you can lead with your voice, you must lead with your ears. I once met a business owner who told me, "I do not make decisions until I hear from my team. They are the ones in the field. They know what is really happening." Because he listened, his team trusted him. And when he finally gave instructions, everyone followed without question. When you listen well, you send a message. You matter. This makes people open their hearts to you. And when their hearts are open, your words have more power. Here are simple ways to listen like a leader. Give full attention. Put your phone down. Look at the person speaking. Do not interrupt. Let them finish their thought. Ask questions. Show you care about their view. Repeat back key points. This shows you understand. Let's say a friend tells you, "I'm having a hard time at work." Instead of jumping in with advice right away, you could say, "I hear you. What happened?" Then, listen. After they finish, you can give your thoughts. This makes your words more welcome. Leaders know that people will listen to them more if they first listen to others. It builds trust like nothing else. Here's a story. There was a young leader named Ajay who took over a small community group. At his first meeting, he expected to give a big speech. But instead, he sat and asked everyone, "What do you want to see happen here?" People were surprised. No leader had ever asked them that. For 2 hours, he just listened. When it was his turn to speak, he repeated their ideas and said, "Let's make this happen together." They followed him because he showed respect first. Listening also helps you speak with accuracy. Imagine giving a speech about fixing a problem without knowing the real cause. People will see your words as empty. But if you have listened to the people affected, you can speak directly to their pain and hope. That is what moves hearts. Another tip. Listen not only to words, but also to tone and body language. Someone may say, "I'm fine," but their eyes look sad. A leader notices this and responds with care. Listening takes patience. Sometimes you will want to rush and share your opinion. Hold back. Remember, the more you understand, the more powerful your response will be. Here's an exercise. For one full day, when someone talks to you, do not think about what you will say next. Just focus on their words. Nod, smile, or show you are paying attention. At the end, repeat back one thing they said. You will be surprised how much closer people feel to you. Now, let's connect listening to speaking like a leader. When you have listened deeply, you can use people's own words in your reply. For example, if someone says, "I'm stressed because deadlines keep changing," you could reply, "I hear that changing deadlines are making you stressed. Let's find a way to make them more clear." Notice how that reply makes the person feel understood. That is leadership in action. Listening also teaches humility. It reminds you that you do not have all the answers. And when you finally speak, people know your words come from understanding, not from ego. There's a famous saying, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." This is the leader's mindset. You may have important things to say, but you will have the right time to say them. And that time is after you have listened. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. A pause shows you are thinking. It gives weight to what you will say next. Leaders use silence wisely. They do not fill every moment with talk. If you practice listening daily, people will start sharing more with you. They will trust your judgment. And when you speak, they will already be leaning in, ready to hear what comes next. Remember, leadership is not about having the loudest voice. It is about having the voice people respect and follow. And that respect often begins with listening. So today, ask yourself, who can I listen to with my full attention? Whose story do I need to hear before I speak? Answer those questions, and you are already one step closer to talking like a true leader. Step 4. Speak with clarity and simplicity. A true leader's voice is clear. When they speak, people understand them right away. There is no confusion, no guessing, no need to ask, "What do you mean?" They use words that are simple but strong. They do not try to sound smart by using difficult language. They try to make their message easy for everyone to follow. Think of great speeches in history. They were not full of big, complicated words. They were full of short, powerful sentences. They spoke to the heart, not to the dictionary. That is why people remember them even after many years. I once heard a story about a manager who always used technical words in meetings. His team nodded, but they never acted on his instructions. One day, a new worker told him, "I don't understand what you want us to do." At first, he felt embarrassed, but then he realized, if people don't understand you, your words have no power. From that day on, he started speaking in simple steps. Suddenly, his team worked faster and better. Clarity is not about talking more slowly or loudly. It is about making your point easy to understand. Here's how you can speak with clarity. Know your main message. Before you speak, ask yourself, what is the one thing I want them to remember? Use short sentences. Long sentences can lose people. Avoid extra words. If a word does not add value, remove it. Explain with examples. People remember stories more than facts. Check for understanding. Ask, does that make sense? Here's an example. Instead of saying, "We must optimize our operational efficiency by implementing robust frameworks," you could say, "We need to work faster and better by using a simple plan." The second version is clear and easy for everyone to understand. Clarity also means staying on topic. Leaders do not wander in their talks. They guide the listener from start to end without losing focus. If you talk about too many things at once, people get lost. Here's a quick tip. Imagine you are talking to a 10-year-old. Could they understand you? If yes, then your message is clear enough. If not, try to simplify it. This does not mean treating your listeners like children. It means making your words easy for every brain to catch. One thing that helps is using pictures in your words. This is called imagery. For example, if you want to say, "We must act fast," you could say, "We must move like a river before it freezes." This creates a picture in the listener's mind and makes your words stick. I met a community leader who always used simple images when speaking. When he wanted people to work together, he said, "We are like fingers on a hand. Alone, each finger is weak. Together, we make a fist." People understood and remembered. That is the power of clear speech. Another part of clarity is tone. Even if your words are simple, your tone must be steady and calm. If you speak too quickly, your message becomes a blur. If you speak too slowly without energy, people may lose interest. Leaders find the balance. Slow enough to be clear, but with enough energy to keep attention. Practice this. Choose a short message like, "We can achieve our goal if we work together." Say it out loud 3 times, once fast, once too slow, and once at a steady, confident pace. Notice how the third way feels right. That is your goal every time you speak. Clarity is also about removing distractions from your speech. Avoid filler words like you know, like. They make you sound unsure. At first, you may use them without noticing. To fix this, record yourself speaking and listen for them. Then, replace those fillers with pauses. A pause is more powerful than a filler. Here's a real example. I once trained a young man for public speaking. At first, every sentence he spoke had "you know" in it. It made him sound nervous. We worked on replacing "you know" with silence. After 2 weeks, his speech sounded cleaner and stronger. People noticed the change immediately. Also, remember, leaders do not hide behind complicated words to sound important. They know that real respect comes from being understood, not from confusing people. Clarity builds trust. When people know they can rely on you to give straight, easy-to-follow messages, they listen more closely. They act faster. They make fewer mistakes, and they see you as a leader they can trust. Here's an exercise for today. Take something complex, maybe a news story, a business idea, or a school topic, and explain it in 3 short sentences to a friend. If they understand, you have achieved clarity. If not, try again until it's clear. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel. Soon your voice will carry the same quality that great leaders have, a voice that cuts through noise, delivers the message, and leaves no doubt in the listener's mind. Step 5. Use stories to inspire and teach. Facts can give people information, but stories can move their hearts. A leader knows how to use stories to make a point that people will remember. You can forget a list of facts in 1 day, but a good story can stay in your mind for years. Think about it. Since we were children, we have listened to stories. Stories taught us lessons about honesty, courage, kindness, and hard work. Even now, as adults, we connect deeply with them. This is why leaders often speak in stories, because a story can open the door to someone's mind and heart faster than plain words. I once heard a leader talk about teamwork. Instead of listing rules, he told a story about a group of geese flying in the sky. He explained that geese fly in a V shape to reduce wind resistance. When the front goose gets tired, it moves to the back, and another goose takes the lead. He said, "We can be like the geese, take turns leading and supporting each other." Everyone remembered that image and the lesson. When you use stories in your speech, you do 3 things. You make your message easy to understand. You make it emotional so people feel connected. You make it memorable so they remember it later. Here's how to tell a good story as a leader. Keep it simple. 1 main lesson per story. Make it real. Use true events from your life or others. Show feelings. Let people know how the characters felt. End with the point. Always connect the story to the lesson you want to teach. For example, if you want to talk about persistence, you could tell about a time you failed but kept trying until you succeeded. People will listen more closely because it is personal. Leaders also use stories to connect with people from different backgrounds. A story about struggle, hope, or kindness can touch anyone, no matter where they come from. Here's a personal example. I once had to speak to a group of young students about believing in themselves. Instead of giving a lecture, I told them about a time when I was their age and failed an exam. I explained how I felt embarrassed and ready to give up, but a teacher told me, "This is just one chapter, not your whole story." I worked harder, passed the next exam, and learned that failure can be a lesson, not the end. The students came to me later and said they understood because they had felt the same way. A good leader uses stories not only for motivation, but also for teaching. If you want to teach patience, you can tell about a farmer who waits months for his crop to grow. If you want to teach courage, you can tell about a firefighter who runs into danger to save others. Another powerful way to use stories is to share the victories of the people you lead. When you highlight someone else's success, it inspires the whole group. For example, a coach could tell the story of a player who practiced daily, even in the rain, and finally scored the winning goal. This makes everyone want to work harder. Also, remember that your own life is full of stories. You do not need to wait for something huge to happen. Small moments can teach big lessons. A kind word from a stranger, a problem you solved, a time you helped someone in need. Here's an exercise. Think of 3 short stories from your life that taught you something important. Write them down in simple words. Then, practice telling them out loud. Focus on the feeling and the lesson, not on using fancy language. When you tell a story, use your voice to bring it to life. Change your tone for different parts, softer for emotional moments, stronger for inspiring moments. Pause at important points so people have time to imagine the scene. There's a saying, "Facts tell, stories sell." This means facts may give people the information they need, but stories make them care enough to act. Leaders who master storytelling can inspire action, change minds, and create unity. Think about leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., or Mother Teresa. Their words were powerful not just because of their ideas, but because they told stories that made people feel deeply. If you want to talk like a leader, do not just share information, share a vision. And the easiest way to share a vision is through stories that people can see in their minds and feel in their hearts. From now on, whenever you prepare to speak, ask yourself, what story can I share that will make my message unforgettable? If you can answer that, you are already speaking like a true leader. Step 6. Use your body to speak without words. A leader's voice is not only about sound. Your body also speaks. Even before you say a word, people notice your face, your hands, the way you stand, and the way you move. This is called body language, and it can make your words stronger or weaker. Have you ever met someone who said they were happy, but their face looked sad? Or someone who said they were confident, but they kept looking at the floor? This is why body language matters. If your body and words do not match, people will believe your body, not your words. Leaders know how to make their body support their message. They use their eyes, hands, and posture to show strength and respect. Here are simple ways to use body language like a leader. Stand tall. Keep your back straight and shoulders relaxed. It shows confidence. Make eye contact. Look at the person or group you are speaking to. Not staring, but steady contact. Use open hands. Open palms show honesty. Pointing fingers too much can feel aggressive. Smile when appropriate. A warm smile builds trust. Face the person. Turning away shows you are not interested. I once saw a speaker who had amazing ideas but spoke with his arms crossed the whole time. People thought he was closed off and defensive. The next time, he opened his hands and moved naturally. The difference was huge. People leaned in to listen. Your body language also affects your own feelings. If you stand tall and breathe deeply, you feel more confident. If you slump and look down, you feel smaller. Try this. Before speaking, stand tall. Put your feet shoulder-width apart and take 3 deep breaths. You will feel stronger instantly. Leaders also know the power of facial expressions. If you are telling a happy story, let your face show joy. If you are talking about a serious topic, let your face be serious. This makes your words more real. Here's a tip. Watch yourself speak in a mirror or record a video. Notice what your hands, face, and body are doing. Are you moving too much? Are you too stiff? The goal is balance. Enough movement to look alive, but not so much that it distracts. Another key part of body language is how you use space. Leaders do not hide in a corner when speaking. They stand where everyone can see them. If you are speaking to a group, move a little so you connect with different parts of the audience. This makes each person feel included. One time, I coached a young leader named Sam. He spoke well, but he stood frozen in one spot like a statue. His words were good, but the energy felt low. I told him, "Your audience is not just listening. They are watching. Use the stage like it's your space." The next time, he moved gently from one side to another, making eye contact with people as he spoke. The room felt more alive, and people clapped louder than ever before. Your hands can also help explain your words. For example, if you are talking about growth, you can move your hand upward. If you are talking about working together, you can bring your hands together. These small movements help people remember your message. But remember, do not overdo it. Too many hand movements can distract people from your words. The best leaders use gestures naturally, not like they are forcing them. Body language is also about listening. When someone else speaks, nod to show you understand. Lean slightly forward to show interest. Keep your arms open instead of crossed. This makes people feel safe sharing with you. Here's an exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and say one short sentence like, "We can do this together." First, say it with poor body language, looking down, arms crossed, no smile. Then say it again standing tall, with a slight smile, steady eyes, and open hands. Notice how different it feels. The second way feels stronger and more inspiring, right? In leadership, people often decide how they feel about you before you even speak. That decision comes from your body language. If you look confident, open, and calm, they will trust you more. One last tip. Your voice and body should work as a team. If you speak with energy but your body looks bored, the message is weak. If your body shows passion but your voice is flat, the message is weak. When both match, your message becomes powerful. From now on, think of your body as part of your speech. Use it to show respect, strength, and connection. This will make your words not just heard, but also felt. Step 7. Control your tone to command respect. The words you say are important, but the way you say them is just as powerful. Your tone, the rise and fall of your voice, tells people how you feel and what you mean. Leaders know how to use their tone to sound confident, calm, and inspiring. Think about it. If someone says, "I believe in you," with a warm, steady voice, you feel supported. But if they say the same words with a flat or bored tone, you may not believe them. Tone carries emotion. It is like the music behind your words. Leaders use tone in 3 main ways. To show confidence. A steady, clear tone tells people you believe in what you're saying. To inspire action. A lively, strong tone makes people feel motivated. To calm and guide. A gentle, slow tone makes people feel safe. I remember hearing a leader talk to a group during a crisis. People were worried and confused. If he had spoken too fast or too loudly, it would have added to the stress. Instead, he spoke slowly, with a calm but firm voice. His words were clear, and his tone made everyone feel that things were under control. Here are simple tips to improve your tone. Speak from your chest, not your throat. This makes your voice sound fuller and stronger. Breathe deeply before you talk. Breath supports your voice. Avoid speaking in a high, shaky pitch. Practice lowering your voice slightly for strength. Match your tone to your message. Serious messages need a steady tone. Inspiring messages need energy. Pause for effect. Silence between sentences makes your words feel important. Tone is also about variety. If you speak in the same tone for too long, people get bored. Leaders change their tone to keep attention. Soft for emotional moments, strong for calls to action, and lighter for friendly points. Here's an example. Imagine you are telling your team, "We faced a challenge, but we worked together and we won." You could start in a serious tone when talking about the challenge, then switch to an energetic tone when you say, "We won." This shift makes the story feel alive. One of the best ways to work on your tone is to read something out loud, like a speech or a short story. Record yourself, then listen. Does your voice sound flat? Does it match the feeling of the words? If not, practice adding emotion. Tone can also show respect. If you speak too loudly or sharply, people may feel attacked. If you speak too softly all the time, people may not take you seriously. Leaders find the balance, strong but respectful. I once coached a young leader who spoke very fast and in a high pitch when nervous. His ideas were good, but people found it hard to follow. We worked on slowing down, lowering his voice, and using pauses. In 2 months, he sounded like a different person, calm, sure, and in control. Here's an exercise for you. Take a simple sentence like, "We can do this." Say it 3 ways, one with low energy, one too fast, and one steady and confident. You will feel the difference. The confident version will sound like a leader. Another thing leaders do is emphasize key words. For example, instead of saying, "We can do this," all at one speed, you can say, "We can do this," stressing the word "can" to show belief. Small changes like this can make your message stronger. Your tone also helps in difficult conversations. If someone is upset, your calm tone can help them settle down. If you need people to act quickly, a firm and energetic tone can move them to action. Leaders understand that tone builds trust. People remember not only what you said, but how you made them feel. And tone is the main way you create that feeling. From now on, pay attention to your tone in daily life. Notice how people react when you speak in different ways. Adjust until you find the tone that makes people listen and respect you. Step 8. Listen like a true leader. Great leaders do not just talk well, they listen well. Many people think leadership is about speaking all the time, giving orders and sharing ideas. But the truth is, leaders spend a lot of time listening. Listening helps you understand people, build trust, and make better decisions. When you listen, you send a message. You matter. Your words are important. This makes people feel valued. And when people feel valued, they give their best. I once knew a manager who spoke a lot but never really listened. His team stopped sharing ideas with him because they knew he was not paying attention. Later, a new leader joined, someone who listened carefully, took notes, and asked questions. In just weeks, the team's energy and creativity grew. Why? Because they felt heard. Here's how you can listen like a leader. Give your full attention. Put away your phone, turn off notifications, and face the person speaking. Make eye contact. Let them know you are there with them. Don't interrupt. Many people cut others off because they are eager to share their own ideas. Leaders wait, let the person finish, and then speak. Show you are listening. Nod your head, say, "I understand," or repeat back what you heard. This shows you care and are paying attention. Ask good questions. Questions help you understand better. Instead of saying, "I see," ask, "What do you think will work best?" Or, "Can you tell me more?" Listen for feelings, not just words. Sometimes the real message is in the emotion. If someone says, "I'm fine," but sounds upset, a leader notices and checks in. Listening is also powerful in solving problems. Imagine 2 team members have a conflict. If you just give quick advice without hearing both sides, you may make things worse. But if you listen to each person fully, you can find a fair solution. One of my favorite examples of listening comes from a famous CEO. He said, "When I talk, I only hear what I already know. When I listen, I learn something new." This is true for all leaders. Listening is the fastest way to grow. Here's a small exercise. Next time you talk to someone, Focus on them fully for 2 minutes. Don't think about your reply. Just listen. Notice how they respond when you give them your full attention. Listening also makes your speaking stronger. When you understand what people care about, you can choose words that connect with them. For example, if you learn that your team is worried about a deadline, you can speak to that fear with calm and encouragement. Leaders listen in meetings, in one-on-one talks, and even in casual chats. Every conversation is a chance to learn something important. But listening is not always easy. Our minds like to wander. Sometimes we think about what to say next or about other problems. Leaders train themselves to pull their focus back to the person speaking. You can practice this by repeating the key points in your head as the person speaks. For example, if someone says, "The project is delayed because the supplier was late," you think, "Supplier late, project delayed." This keeps you present. Another tip: when someone finishes speaking, wait 2 or 3 seconds before you respond. This short pause shows that you are thinking about what they said, not just rushing to answer. Listening well also makes you a better friend, partner, and parent. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood. It's like a magnet. When you truly listen, people naturally want to follow you. In leadership, listening is not weakness. It is strength. It tells people, "I am confident enough to hear your view before I act." And it often saves time and trouble later because you make decisions with the full picture in mind. Remember, your ears are your secret leadership tool. Use them more than your mouth. You will be surprised how much respect and trust you earn. Step 9. Speak with clarity and confidence. A leader's words are like a map. If the map is clear, people know where to go. If the map is messy, people get lost. The same is true for your speech. If you speak with clarity, people understand you. If you speak in a confused way, people may doubt you. Clarity means being easy to understand. Confidence means sounding sure about what you say. Together, they make people trust and follow you. I remember working with a young team leader who had great ideas but spoke in a way that was hard to follow. She used long sentences, jumped between topics, and often said, "maybe" or "I think" too much. Even though she was smart, her team did not feel sure about her direction. Later, she learned to speak in short, simple sentences and to sound certain. The change was amazing. The same team started moving faster because they understood her clearly. Here are ways you can speak with clarity and confidence. Know your main point before you speak. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, what is the one thing I want them to remember? Keep that main point in mind. Use simple words. Fancy words may sound impressive, but they can confuse people. Leaders use words that everyone can understand. Keep sentences short. Long sentences are hard to follow. Speak in clear, bite-sized pieces. Avoid filler words. Words like you know, and like make you sound unsure. Pause instead of filling the silence. Speak at a steady pace. Talking too fast can make you seem nervous. Talking too slow can make people lose interest. Find a natural, steady rhythm. Use your voice to guide the listener. Change your tone for important points. Speak a little slower when saying something serious. Add warmth when you want to inspire. Clarity also means avoiding too many ideas at once. If you have 3 points, say them one at a time. For example, here's what we will do. First, call the client. Second, update the file. Third, send the report by noon. This makes it easy for people to follow and remember. Confidence comes from preparation. If you know your topic well, you will naturally sound sure. Leaders do their homework. They think ahead about questions that may come up and prepare good answers. Body language also affects confidence. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and make eye contact. These signals tell people you believe in your words. Here's a quick trick to sound more confident. Replace weak phrases with strong ones. Weak. I think we could try this idea. Strong. This idea will help us reach our goal. Weak. Maybe we can finish by Friday. Strong. We will finish by Friday. Of course, only say will if you are sure. False confidence can hurt trust. But when you do believe something is right, say it with strength. Confidence is not about shouting or forcing your view. It is about being calm and sure, even in tough situations. People can feel when you truly believe what you are saying. Imagine you are giving a safety instruction before a big event. If you speak quietly, rush your words, or sound unsure, people may ignore you. But if you speak clearly, slowly, and with a firm tone, people will take you seriously. Leaders also check for understanding. After giving instructions, they may ask, "Does this make sense?" Or, "Any questions before we start?" This shows you care that everyone is on the same page. Another tip: practice speaking out loud when you are alone. Choose a topic, set a timer for 2 minutes, and speak without stopping. Then listen to yourself. Notice if you use too many fillers or if your sentences are unclear. Adjust and try again. Confidence also grows when you speak often. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Start small. Speak up in team meetings, share your ideas in group chats, or give a short update at work. Each time, you build your skill. Remember, people do not follow a leader just because they have a title. They follow because the leader speaks in a way that makes them feel safe, focused, and ready to act. Your clarity and confidence are like a light in the dark. They guide others forward. When you speak, think of your words as tools. Use them to build understanding, not confusion. Use them to inspire action, not hesitation. The right words, spoken with clarity and confidence, can change the mood of a room, the direction of a team, and even the future of a project. Step 10. Listen like a leader. Many people think leadership is only about talking, but the best leaders know that listening is just as powerful as speaking. When you listen well, you gain trust, learn more, and make better decisions. A leader who does not listen will lose touch with their team, their customers, and even their own goals. Listening is not just hearing words, it is paying full attention, understanding feelings, and showing respect to the person speaking. I once met a company director who always gave great speeches, but his real power came from how he listened. When someone talked to him, he would stop what he was doing, look them in the eye, and listen, without interrupting. Even if the problem was small, he made the person feel important. People worked harder for him because they felt heard. Here's how you can listen like a leader. Give your full attention. Put away your phone, close your laptop, and face the person. Eye contact shows you are present. Don't interrupt. Let them finish speaking before you respond. Cutting someone off makes them feel ignored. Show you understand. Nod your head, say, "I see," or repeat their key points in your own words. This shows you are truly listening. Ask good questions. Questions like, "Can you explain more?" or "What do you think we should do?" help you learn deeper details. Listen for feelings, not just facts. Sometimes the emotion behind the words is more important than the words themselves. Listening builds trust because it shows humility. You are saying, "Your voice matters." This makes people feel valued. Listening also helps you avoid mistakes. Imagine you are leading a project, and a team member warns you about a small problem. If you ignore them, the problem might grow bigger. But if you listen and act early, you can save time, money, and stress. Leaders who listen make better decisions because they have more information. They hear different viewpoints, consider more ideas, and understand the risks better. Here's a tip. When someone speaks, focus only on them. If your mind starts planning your reply, bring it back to their words. Another powerful skill is reflective listening. This means repeating back the main point to confirm you understood. For example, they say, "I'm worried the deadline is too short." You say, "You're concerned we may not have enough time." This makes the person feel you get their concern, and it also checks that you heard them right. Listening like a leader also means hearing the quiet voices. In meetings, some people speak less because they are shy or afraid of being wrong. A good leader invites them to share. You might say, "Priya, we haven't heard from you yet. What are your thoughts?" Often, quiet people have some of the best ideas. Also, don't just listen to people above you or at your level. Listen to those who work under you. Listen to customers. Listen to new members. Sometimes fresh voices see things that experienced ones miss. One more thing. Listening does not mean you always agree. You can understand someone and still choose a different action. But by listening first, you make a better choice and keep respect. Here's an example of bad listening. Leader, typing on laptop. "Yes, I'm listening." Team member, "I think our new process is slowing down work." Leader, "Okay, fine. We'll talk later." The leader missed a chance to learn something important. Now the good example. Leader, closes laptop. "Okay, tell me what you're noticing." Team member, "I think our new process is slowing down work." Leader, "What part is taking longer?" Team member, "The approval step. It used to take 1 day. Now it takes 3. Leader, "That's important. Let's see how we can fix that." Same situation, but a different result because the leader listened. Remember, listening is a gift. It costs nothing, but it can change everything. People will open up to you more. Problems will be solved faster. And your team will feel safe sharing ideas, even risky ones. Think about this. If people do not feel heard, they will stop speaking. If they stop speaking, you will lose valuable knowledge. That's why great leaders create an environment where voices are welcome. Reflection questions for you. Do I give full attention when people speak, or do I get distracted? Do I listen to understand, or do I listen just to reply? Do I make space for quiet voices in my team? Make listening your secret weapon. When you listen deeply, you lead wisely.